Hi, welcome to Two Non-Doctors. I'm Liz Mealy.
I'm Maria Shahada.
How you
I'm
doing?
good. It's hot. Finally. Woohoo. I'm good. How are
Con
you?
Congratulations. How long does that last
2 days.
for?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Are you just wearing a bathing suit wherever you go just to be prepped?
Just to be ready. It's like the sun's out, jumping something.
I remember I had my dad laughing because like when I was in London for 6 weeks before I did the Edinburgh Fringe Festival, um, I would like go to a coffee shop to write. And then the sun would come out and I'd run home to go do laundry so that I could put it in the sun because I didn't realize it took like 3 days for jeans to dry when there's no sun. Like, I mean, I would drop everything. I'm like kicking babies. I was like, we have 10 minutes of sun. Get out of the way. Like,
Yeah,
chasing
but
it.
but also just like you just generally don't know how long it takes jeans to just dry on their own because we have dryers.
Yeah. It was I mean, I learned a lot about laundry and what we need both for happiness and for clothes not to be damp. The amount of times I put on damp clothes when I was in London because I didn't time it right.
Yeah. Yeah. And then everybody sort of smells a little bit musty.
Yeah, man. And then you don't realize like I remember talking to Andrea because I was like all your towels feel like sandpaper.
Hmm.
And like you don't know what it feels like to like have a fluffy towel when you get out of the shower or like fluffy socks when you come in from the rain and you change your wet socks and you put on fluffy one. Like I was like, you guys don't know fluff.
Michelle Wolf has a funny joke about that in her special about like using fabric softener for her husband and just for the first time and just realizing like, oh, it does do something.
I won't use it though because it ruins your clothes.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it gets stuck. Here's more junk science, but it gets stuck in the fabrics and it like just kind of makes it gucky. So like, yes, it's soft, but over time you just have like gucky clothes. This is what your
Okay.
clothes look like.
Danny, that's the name of our the title of this episode here. It's more junk science.
Um,
At the
but
um at the civil partnership I went to, somebody had asked if we were still doing the podcast and she was like, two non-doctors. I was like, oh, you remembered. That's nice. Um, and she's a doctor. I was like, you have to come on. You have to come on and
yeah,
just like
and
tell
just
us everything we're doing wrong.
I love that.
But she said that like her friend had read somewhere that, or they had been talking about paracetamol, which is like Advil, and like how like she had said doctors don't know how it works. And her friend was like, you don't know how it works? And she's like, they don't know how it works. And she's like, you don't know how it works. And she's like, if it makes you feel better, fine. I don't know how it works.
I'm dumb, but also so is everybody I work with.
They don't know how it works. But it's like a miracle drug. It's not addictive. It kills your pain. You don't like I don't know. It's crazy to me that like I can just get rid of a headache but not have to deal with like possibly being addicted to it for the rest of my life.
Yeah, I didn't realize that they don't know how it works. The only thing I know about it is you shouldn't have it on an empty stomach. Like it can like if you take like in general if you take it every day, I think your body's like, ooh. But on the best thing you can do for most of those drugs is make sure you have food in your stomach. It does something to your liver.
We are so smart. Kidney. Burn.
Kidneys. Yeah, maybe kidneys. One of those body parts that you need, it messes it up.
Yeah. I also
But I'm
talked
like
to
I'm always yelling at Evan, where I'm just like, eat some. It's like the one thing I know. Like, eat something. Don't take that on an empty stomach.
yeah, yeah. I also talked to somebody who had given his kidney to his father
Hmm.
because he was drinking Coke. And I was like, "Oh, you're not drinking anymore." And he was like, "Well, I just I gave my kidney to my dad or something, whatever he said to get into the conversation." And I was like, "Oh my God, wow." Like, because either these are Johnny's friends. And so I was asking him about it, and then, like apparently he got really sick. I was like, wait, did you almost die? And I'm like, I don't know anything. Johnny doesn't tell me anything, but Johnny didn't know. So I was like, I'm just gonna go to Johnny and be like, your friend who almost died from surgery and he only has like one testicle. And like, I was like, this is how rumors get started. Y'all need to talk.
I who was I with? Yeah, I think half of my relationship is telling. I would say not my, I wouldn't say my boyfriend as much, but half of my guy friends, if I meet any of their friends, telling them about their friends back to them, like being like a weird like angel of knowledge. And you're like, and he's like, how do you know that? And you're like, just asked. You just ask.
Like
There's like,
his lack of information. Like if he's like, this happened, he was like, oh, so and so broke up. And I was like, what happened? He goes, I don't know. How is
that's the
that not your
most.
follow-up question? How do you just leave it at that? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Let's talk about the Olympics. What?
I mean, I would say for every answer I get, I have like four follow-up questions. Like I absolutely want to know more. And if it's any kind of drama, if it's any like I almost died, we're not together anymore, this person got fired, I want to know details. I don't even care if I don't know them. I love office drama.
Yeah.
Just enjoying all office drama.
Oh,
Doesn't matter.
I get all of my housemates' office drama. She's like, "Did I update you on the latest?" I'm like, "No." I'm like turning off Bridgerton, turning on
Yeah, yeah,
Mary.
yeah. Yeah, no. Dude, and it's just like it could be small petty stuff. Like they're like, some scandal of somebody like stealing something from the office. And I'm just like, who do they think it is? Have they brought people in for questioning? Like I treat it truly like it's a crime show.
Yeah.
I just I don't know. And then if I accidentally meet them, oh, sometimes I make Evan stop and show me a picture of people's faces because I need the full picture of who I hate.
I need a picture of their face. That's very funny.
It's so
I haven't done
important.
that yet, but I should. I should be like, what's their full name? I'm gonna Google them just so I have the visual. But I feel like the pictures I come up with in my head, though, I would want to do that first and just have solid ideas of what I think they look like in my head, and then like find out that like, oh, like see how close I get.
I don't know. I feel like I can't focus. And then like, especially when they're like talking about somebody just being the worst, I'm like, I just gotta see what their face looks like. And then when I see it and they look like somebody that'd be the worst, it's like, guys, we knew this. Why are we
Yeah.
even pretending? Like they have like, I'm gonna fuck you over face. Like we see that. We see that. I don't know. It happens a lot, especially Adrian will start telling me about like a comic and I'm like, I gotta see their face. Like
Mm.
at this point, she starts the story, she stops herself, she'll show me so that I can focus.
Visuals, absolutely. Give me like a presentation. What is I heard if you do a PowerPoint presentation, that's like the old school way of saying it. That's the millennial way of saying it. What do they say now? Um,
Oh. Oh, I
yeah,
don't
there's a
know.
new way to say PowerPoint presentation that's like involves Canva or Evernote or all those things. And it's like maybe it's like a slide. I don't, oh, God damn. It's just
But
like
I'm not,
these little ways that give away your age. And it's so unfair. That's like if I were like, well, call me on my rotary phone. I like it. And people are like, rotary. Yeah, this.
but this
Somebody
is a
said this to
telltale.
me.
And
I
I'm
told
not
you about
updating it. This is what kids do. This is a brick. I'm
I
not
told
doing
you
this.
about this. Yeah, because it was like you were doing cell phones or phones like this, and it's like, what is this? To kids, they don't know. So you have to do this now. This is a brick. I'm a crazy person. This is a brick.
This looks crazy. This
Yeah.
looks crazy. Do you know what I've actually done? I just stopped picking up the phone in fake land. Like I've noticed when I talk about the phone, I'm just like, yeah, they called and like I've trained myself to like not do this.
There's no way to avoid it. You're gonna say something inevitably that people are gonna be like, "Oh, damn, she's over 30."
I don't know why I was on the plane and I kept thinking of like landlines and like landlines. Like there's like we all know at least one or two people that still have a landline. And then I was just like, landline. And I couldn't, when you just keep saying a word in your head, you're like, oh my God, our phones aren't connected to the land. Like I was like in this weird, like, I don't know. I
How
had so
high
many,
were you? Oh
well,
my
I was
God.
on so many plane delays. My plane going to Oregon was delayed. Well, it was canceled, pushed back um a day and a half. Actually, it's supposed to be 3 days, but I booked a second flight just to see if I could get there earlier. And then that flight was delayed 4.5 hours, and I spent almost four of them on the plane on the tarmac, uh, losing my mind. But what was worse is coming back, flight was fine, landed, spent almost an hour and a half after we landed in the city I live. We flew over my house. We're in my city and we sat on the tarmac for an hour and a half.
Ah, oh my God, that's so difficult.
And it was like we were already getting in at 11. We landed at 10:52. And then we were at the back of the plane. I think we got off, God, like almost one. It was like no, not almost one, almost like a little after 12. Like I got home after one, losing my mind. Losing my mind.
Yeah. I
I
remember
yeah.
flying back when my dad was in the hospital, and it was like, did I tell you a story? Yeah, like, I'm a mess. I'm all tears and like swollen and like sunglasses and just, and it's turbulent because because my brother was like, how are you going to land on this? There are tornadoes. And I was like, I'm already kind of scared. And then there's like angry clouds surrounding the plane, right? Like we're circling and the crowds are they're angry.
Hmm.
And I was like trying to calm myself down because I was like, I am prone to fear of this. I bet it's fine. They wouldn't land. If it weren't fine, I have to trust the pilot. And then two
Hmm.
rows ahead of me, some lady goes, oh, that is treacherous.
Uh-huh.
I was like, we're gonna die. And then and that's when I freaked out. But I was oh, that is treacherous. I was like, okay,
Oh,
so let
that
me. And so we ended up getting rerouted, I think first to Cincinnati. So like we're flying over Columbus. I'm like, no, like, and then Cincinnati.
oh no.
Then Pittsburgh is where we ended up landing.
How far is
And
how far is so when they fly you somewhere else, what do they do? You just have to wait for another plane or
we sat on the plane. So Cincinnati, we sat there. Then they took off again, but we were going to Pittsburgh. I can't remember why. Why didn't we just stay in Cincinnati? Or maybe they thought they could. I don't know. I don't remember what happened. So then we ended up in Pittsburgh, and there they let us off the plane for a bit. And I thought the Pittsburgh airport would have food or a plug. Neither. Pittsburgh.
sorry to hear that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, imagine my state of mind already, and I can't plug in my phone. It was a mess. But
I'm now prepared for when I go to Pittsburgh to have nothing.
yeah.
They're like, hey, bring your own toilet paper. This place got nothing.
There was a commercial pilot in the front row of my show the other day, and I was like, have do you feel that turbulence has gotten worse, like clean air turbulence? And he goes, no, I think it's about the same. I was like, okay, well, I feel we have flown about the same amount, and I think
Uh-huh.
I think it's gotten worse, sir.
And you're wrong. And as somebody that's also a non-doctor, I'll tell you about medicine as well to a
Exactly.
doctor.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It does feel more, there's been more delays and more turbulence. I'll tell you that much. But I don't know if it's like, again, I don't know if you're like paying attention to it more because you become more sensitive. It's like that thing is like I feel like once all the stuff with the Boeing came out, it's like it's hard not to be like distrustful. Um, I had a weird situation this flight that I was just on Sunday. There was a guy in the back, like kind of he had a neck pillow on and just like on his neck, and he just feel like, I don't know, erratic. And I was like, and I went to the bathroom and I came out and I was like, I just heard you be like, well, I bought the flights. And I was like, okay. And then I didn't realize this. He had been standing in the back. It was like a 5 hour flight. He'd been standing in the back with the stewardess the whole time. And I was like, that ain't right. And then when we finally got to the gate, they said, hey, everybody, you have to sit down. And then you just see this guy come up and they're like, you're not in trouble, but you do have to talk to people. And then of course there was like three cops when we got off. And I was like, ooh, I was like, come on, that's the drama I want to know about during the whole turbulent flight and sitting there for an hour and a half. Why can't you just text us like, hey, this dude crazy.
Yeah.
He went through a breakup. He can't sit down. I don't know, whatever it is. But like, I've been thinking about that guy for 2 days. Like, he they made us sit down like three times because of turbulence. And that guy, I saw him. He was back there almost the whole time. So did they just let him stand because they were scared of him? Or like, I was like, I don't know.
That's like when I was on a train in Germany and it was delayed, but nobody like the announcer kept coming on and saying things and people would laugh or they would emote they would be like ah or ah right and I'm like what is going on because they weren't translating it into English and I was like asking this woman she was nuts this woman because she kept like turning around and looking at me and being like do you want to sit you can keep your stuff here and you can sit here and I'd had a seat so I don't know why I would do that and but she didn't speak English enough to translate, and no one else would translate. I don't want to ask everyone because I didn't want to be laughed at, basically. But
Yeah,
then
yeah.
some guy like sat down next to me, and I was like, do you speak English? Can you tell me what's going on?" And he was like, "A little." And then he just conversed with the girl in front of me forever, and I was like, somebody tell me what's going on. And then all it was that like somebody was on the train with a bike, but because it was the weekend and it was crowded, they weren't allowed to have a bike on the train, but the cyclist refused to get off the train. And so they had to wait for the police to come.
Damn.
Yeah. And that's all it was. But I had no idea. Nothing was being like relayed to me. And I'm just like, what are we still doing here? And you were
Yeah, but like,
meanwhile having the worst trip of your life.
oh my God. Oh, is that when we were meeting up together?
Yeah, we met up in Frankfurt, and you had just come from like cancellations and
Oh, like
delays and
18
shit.
trains. Dude, I mean, it's funny that you now learn the stereotypes that German trains suck. Like, and you're like, kind of wish somebody would tell me. I thought all trains were equal. I thought Europe was like, we do trains great. Cool, cool, cool.
Yeah,
I just, the amount of times that like I feel bad because I think that same situation has probably happened on the New York subway because there are like, it's so much tension on the subway that when it stops or there's like something crazy that happens, we're all kind of like on edge. You can't hear, it's all like garbly or whatever. And there's got to be somebody that like is like, why is why is everybody laughing? Why does everybody look angry? And nobody will talk to you on the subway. Like nobody. So it's just like I know that same situation has happened with tourists in New York City where they're just like, there's blood on the walls and everybody's looking at their phone and they seem angry. Why? What's going on? And everybody's like, I don't tell you.
yeah.
But we just have to get a private jet. That's what I'm hearing.
That's life goals, baby. PJs.
Private jet. We need that private jet money.
Yeah.
Announcements. Um, I'm touring. I think when this comes out, I will be in Canada. So, Montreal is like 70% sold. I just added a second show to Toronto, so you can come see me in Canada. Boston is selling very fast. I think it's like half full if you want to come see me in Boston. And I'm taping my special September 15th. That is selling well. So everybody come see me. All my ticket information is at lizmealy.com.
Yeah, mariashahada.com. My schedule's on there. And yeah, and then I'll be touring with you at the end of the year, which we can announce
Yeah.
later, but that's so exciting.
Yeah, in December, you'll be with me in Baltimore and Batavia.
Yeah. I chose those cities by hand.
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
was
You're
like,
like, I
take
want the
me
B
to
ones.
Batavia.
Um, but yes, thank you to our Patreons. We just got a Patreon today. Mhm.
Hey, thank you.
Um, thank you to our Patreons. Thank you to everyone that helps and supports. We appreciate it. And Maria, do the little, we're here. We're
Oh, okay,
Instagram.
yeah, all right. You want to know where to find us on socials. I get it. Twitter, YouTube, at two non-doctors. It's a number two, full word doctors. Um, and then Instagram is at two non-DRS. Write to us at Gmail. Tell us why we're dumb or why we're great. Well, either way, at two non-doctors at gmail.com, number two, full word doctors.
Sweet. You want to do your Googlies?
Yeah, sure. Oh, right. So I never really got a clear answer on this. Um, I was at the civil partnership ceremony party,
Mm-hmm.
and I
Sorry.
hadn't eaten because the food wasn't coming till about 5:30, but they did the cake at 4:30. And then they were kind of like, we won't be serving the cake, come up and they get the cake. So I'm hearing every man for themselves. So they cut the cake, and then I'm like, I'm in stance. I'm getting some cake. Uh, Brits have different priorities. Most people went outside to smoke and drink. So fine. I got this table full of desserts on my own, practically on my own. There were a couple people with me, very nice people who were tolerating my choosy fingers. Anyway, I was eating a lot of sugar. Basically, I had on an empty stomach, I had a piece of wedding cake. I had a lemon cupcake that was delicious. The wedding cake was amazing too. I had a brownie. I had a chocolate chip cookie. I mean, there was cheesecake. There were like Welsh cakes because it was in Wales. There was like it was like my little sugar monster's dream. It was just like just
Mm-hmm.
an array. And I made myself sick. And
Yeah, no shit. Maria.
yeah, I made myself
And
sick.
Johnny just at no point was like, "Hey, hon,
He knows better than to get in the way.
you don't want to have vegetable? Maybe take a break."
There were no vegetables. So
Uh-huh.
so anyway, so I made myself sick. Fine, that happens. What I didn't understand was the next morning I had what basically amounted to a hangover. I don't drink, I didn't drink, but I was nauseous, my head hurt. Like I had felt like I was pounding them down all night. And I was like the only thing I could think, because it's not like it lasted. I didn't have it like so much that evening or the next day. So it felt like a hangover. And the only thing I could think was that it was a sugar hangover. So I
Okay.
looked up like if sugar hangovers are a thing, but I was mostly getting like why you shouldn't mix sugar and alcohol, which everyone knows already, but like um and I wasn't really seeing because it was everything that was online about like how sugar will make you sick and like you will get withdrawal symptoms from it was and about how like you get like low insulin or something after and it can give you headaches and stuff. But it was always like 2 hours later. I don't understand why it was the next morning.
Did you have anything else weird?
No, I don't think so. And also, like, my throat hurt, but I mean, I was around people smoking all night. So
You were also outside. Could it have been your nature allergies plus too much sugar? Like, could it
maybe,
be like a
but
combo?
my antihistamines and my dust mite thing, like, lately I've been okay with that stuff. So maybe, um, but I never, I forgot to get like a definitive,
I mean,
um,
I think everybody wants to know how was camping.
I didn't.
Oh, what'd you do?
In the end, I told Johnny, I said I don't want to go camping. And he was like, he fought me a little bit on it. But he agreed, like as a compromise. So we got a hotel room at a Premier Inn. And I was really happy to be honest. Like it was a nice day on the farm, an evening, but it was cold at night. And it was dark. And I was like, I just don't see me going into that dark area and then falling asleep at any point. I don't see it happening.
Yeah.
And I'm glad he compromised on that. I was really, really grateful that we got to sleep in a bed. And also with the way I felt the next morning, yeah, it would have been
Yeah, it would
bad.
have been a mess.
Yeah.
But I also think that, I mean, I think that was the right thing to do. It's also like, why would you want to undo like a good day and a fun time for like this one thing you know you don't want to do?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, isn't that like, I don't know what I clicked on the internet, but I'm getting all these just like as an older woman,
Oh
like all this,
shit.
like, yeah, like
Internet.
truly. I was like, all right. But it is like one of those nice things that like you get older and you're just like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. And people are like, but you, and you're like, no. Like whatever peer pressure you were able to do even 10 years ago is just nah. Like I'm gonna be angry. You're gonna be annoyed that I'm angry. Like everyone's gonna have a bad time because I told you this isn't my jam. And you're gonna
Yeah.
push me into it, and then I'm gonna be a bitch, and then here we are. Like I just like I think some of I think some of the ways that I don't have as many conflicts, I feel like one is just being able to express myself, but B is like I can foreshadow. I've been down this road before. I'm not fun. Like I'm
Yeah.
not fun here.
Yeah, that could be a song lyric.
Been down this road.
I
It
can
ain't fun.
foreshadow. I've been down this road before. I ain't
Um,
fun, baby. I ain't fun.
I ain't fun, baby is definitely my first single. Ain't
Followed by, are
fun.
you gonna finish that, baby?
We were with Evan's friends in Oregon, and we went out to dinner. And Evan always gets like a fun sugary beverage. He doesn't drink, so he gets like a mocktail of some sort. And it was like this watermelon slushy lemonade thing. He something I didn't even see on the menu. I just don't look for it, and I already had like probably like a sugary coffee, so I try not to add it. But he'll always get it, and I don't want a full thing. I've learned that if I get a full thing, I don't feel good about myself. But I'm always like, he ordered it, and I went, and he's like, she'll have one. I was like, no, 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 I'm not ready. I was like, can I try yours first? He's like, no. And I was like, sure.
No.
He said no. And then I tried it. It was really good. He's like, do you want your own? And I was like, I don't. And he's like, he's learned to be like, okay, you're gonna have like he also like every beverage he sucks down in 12 seconds. Like, I've never seen this before in my life. It doesn't matter what it is. Just like it's good that he doesn't drink. He pounds beverages.
Yeah.
Insane. And then my little sister, Emily, nurses a beverage for days. She
Yeah.
stayed with me for 2 days. I had four half beverages in my fridge. It was like an iced tea. It was a half a coffee. It was like another tea. I was like, "Are you gonna finish these?" She's like, "I'm working on it." And I'm like, "What? What? What is this? Why?
Yeah.
Too many. You finished the beverage you had before you get another beverage."
Look at you
So I
talking to. I
have,
have like five beverages in front of me at all times.
but
Um,
you finish your beverages. Yeah. Also, my that's a
so that
there's
was
a
me. I hit the microphone.
oh no
Um,
no my I have two there's a fly and my cats are fucking it's good because they're both the fattest cats I've ever had. I'm truly concerned. I'm like I had to like text my mom and be like I think I have like Lunch hides it well because he's got fur. Ghost, I was like, I came home after being gone for a week and I was like, Ghost, you need to go to the gym, dude. Like, this is rough. My mom was like, as long as you're not over 15 pounds. I was like, I don't know, dude. Like,
I just rather pick up this bowling ball.
yeah, oh God. I have to weigh them today and I am dreading it.
Um,
Okay.
yeah, as far as the food go, yeah, I don't know. This I thought this related, but maybe it doesn't. Just that Johnny will eat like frozen pizzas at like midnight, and I've had to stop doing that because I eat these frozen pizzas late at night, and I'm not my metabolism isn't his. He stays skinny forever, and I just get whiter. And like, but like he'll be like, "Do you want a piece of pizza?" I'm like, "No, I'm fine." And then he's like, "Do you want a piece of pizza?" I'm like, "Yeah."
But that's what's unfair is because like same, I mean, I'm going through the same thing. I cannot eat like he eats. And of course, yes, I want cake. Like, of course I want cake, but I don't want cake. Do you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, like I'm not, my body is I'm gonna get a stomach ache. It's gonna add up. I just let me have my little dark chocolate. Like I just want a little dark chocolate, just want a little treat. I cannot have cake every day. I
I
cannot have.
know. I know. Yeah, I've okay. What was
All
your
right.
Google?
Okay. Mine was because I changed my diet. It's been 1 day. I don't know if you see the difference.
Me too. Good job.
Thank you so much. Um, I ate such garbage in Oregon. It was great, but like we went to go get like cake and it's like I'm not joking. It's like you get a slice of cake and it's a full cake. Like every time we went anywhere, it's like huge. I just can't and we paid for a full cake for them to give us half a cake because we were like we can't be trusted with all this cake. Like that's like we were like donate the other half. Like oh. So but like in general, I've had brain fog for a while. Like I just feel like I can't grab words and I just feel really slow. And I thought it was because of just being burnt out, which I physically and mentally was. But I've now been home and rested for at least a month and I still feel this. And I think the only other difference other than traveling and overworking has been that I've ate junk for a year. And I know I've eaten junk for a year because me and Evan just celebrated a year anniversary. And it has been, I mean, our first date was to get donuts. Like that was like, um, and I don't know, I really think it's diet. And I guess so my Google was how long how long does it take for brain fog to go away after you change your diet? Because I really do think I could also
Well,
be getting older.
do we both have Googles about sugar? Because all the Googles about sugar that I looked up was like that's part of the hangover is you get brain fog, you can't focus, you have a headache, you're fatigued, you're not,
Pretty much. Like I do think it's like I think it's sugar and just like eating stuff that your body doesn't want. Like I know I have some kind of gluten intolerance. Like I can have it, but like my stomach doesn't feel good. I get bloated. So basically, brain fog caused by diet can last for a few days to weeks, but it can also persist for months or years. For example, some people experience brain fog during their first week of keto, but it usually resolves on its own within a few days. However, if brain fog persists, it can be due to dehydration, which I was like, oh, maybe I'm not drinking enough.
mm,
Um, and then it says brain fog can be caused by a number of factors, including a vitamin B12 deficiency which I don't think it is because that's isn't B12 like in red meat?
yeah.
So I don't think it's that. Food allergies or sensitivities, so eating certain foods if you have allergies or sensitivities, so it could be just from eating a lot more wheat in the last year. Under eating, so not maybe nutritional deficiencies, so maybe not getting the right vitamins or whatever. Um And then it was like ways to get rid of brain fog. So it's like eating a healthy diet with the right nutrients. Yeah, that's everyone's goal, bro.
Yeah.
Um, Prioritizing sleep, exercising to improve concentration, practicing stress. Like I mean, this borderline should just say like meditate, meditate, meditate. And then it's like eating certain foods can boost mental clarity, such as dark leafy greens, fatty fish, animal protein, eggs, berries. So it's like, I don't know. I do my gut my gut is that it's eating the stuff that my body doesn't like and it accumulating over time. So my goal is, I'm not being perfect, but like I've drank a lot of sugary coffee in the last year. I've eaten a lot of ice cream in the last year. I've eaten a lot of gluten in the last year. And before I met Evan, not blaming him, I am an adult that makes their own choices. Um, I was pretty good, right? Like it was like once a week, twice a week. And now it's like every day. And then you know how it is. You get it started and even when you're not with the person you love, that is
100%.
putting cake in front of you. You're
Mhm.
like, well, I had cake yesterday. Why not have cake today? And I
Yep.
fell off a cliff of cake and I need to get out of it.
I'm, uh, 100% know exactly what you're talking about. Relationships will do that to you. It's like something you're indulging in together and it's fun. And then sugar is just addicting. Like it takes me 5 months to get into a gym habit. It takes me literally 2 seconds to get into a sugar habit. I can sniff like some sugar, like I'll smell some, and then I'm like, it's just there. I need it every day. I didn't mean sniff, like not fucking, but it just, it's crazy how addictive it is so immediately. And even though no matter how good you are, how many good habits you've built over a lifetime, you just
It,
you slid down a cliff of cake is so good.
there was, and and then, we were on vacation. I was like, I'm just letting it happen. But my last meal, there was banana bread French toast. Like French toast was my favorite, and this was banana bread, which I can have banana bread in the sense that
Yeah.
it doesn't have yeast in it. It was so good, and I've thought about it every day. I was like,
Yeah.
every single day I've thought about it.
I had a banana bread French toast situation 2 days ago, and it had like chocolate syrup on it, and there was like passion fruit and cream, oat cream. Anyway, I'm not helping.
I'm just like, you look over, I'm just drooling.
Well, I'm
Also, did
actually
we
gonna
have
go after this podcast and just go buy that.
great, great.
Um, but I do think the brain fog because I could not concentrate the night of the wedding cake situation, just eating everything my heart desired. I would try to be in conversations with people, and I'm like, I don't know, like none of it is registering. I couldn't focus at all.
Yeah, it's got to be some kind of. I mean, everybody talks about how it's poison, but it's just like, I don't know. I need a break from it. I bought myself some dark chocolate. It's my little treat. But I'm also trying to like just eat more protein and just like be better. We're being
I'm right
better.
there with you. We could check in with each other if you
I would
want.
love that.
Yeah, good. All right. Food logs.
Okay,
We'll send each
guys.
other. Are you on Lose It?
No, I don't. The only app I do is the fasting app.
Because that would be a good way to like, I think, stay in like send each other food logs and stay accountable.
Oh, I
But
like that.
we'll look
You
into
just
it
look at
later.
mine, it's just like cake, 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 and you're just like,
Like
okay.
muffin. Not even nice about it.
And I'm just like, don't look at my logs. Um, all right, guys. Well, thank you for listening. Hopefully next week we will still be eating healthy. Just
Yeah, we
become
will be. It'll be good. Thanks for yeah, see you next week, guys.
bye.
Bye.